does your husband travel with you, or when you travel, I
Yes, he
guess? Oh,
does.
oh, that's
Yes,
wonderful. Yeah.
yes, he does. Whenever he can, he loves to travel. He's a pilot.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
He's also
interesting.
a musician.
No kidding.
Yeah,
What does he play?
he plays the trombone.
I love it. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I almost feel like we started the interview, but we didn't. We didn't really yet.
Well, exactly. We sort of did, and then we sort
Yeah.
of didn't. I love the background. What is your background? Your wallpaper?
These are all people that I've interviewed, and I've got a
Oh
whole
my
nother.
goodness.
I've
The
got a whole
Wall of
nother set, the
Fame.
Wall of Fame. I have a whole nother set ready to go, and I don't know how to. I can't fit them all in. They just keep getting smaller and smaller.
Andrew,
But
this is so wonderful. I'm so honored that you're taking the time to do this. And
oh
I
my
know
God, it's
you
my
are a
pleasure.
composer. You're a composer as well yourself.
I do some composing, but nowhere near the extent of what you do. And so
Yeah.
I'm impressed with how, first of all, I wasn't able to dedicate my life to composition like you are, and so I live vicariously through you people, through your wonderful compositions.
Usually that's
So,
the case. If you can't do it, then you go you live
yeah,
through the lens of those who can.
yeah,
I went to Edith Wharton's home recently and I am blown away but what she has achieved. But she was able to dedicate her entire life to writing.
wow,
She came from means,
hmm,
and but it's not enough to come from means. You have to have the discipline to do that.
yes, yes,
And
you do.
so I know I love, people just dismiss and it's like, oh, she was wealthy. And I'm like, she woke up at the crack of dawn every day
Oh, no
and
kidding.
and started writing, and she had all of these manuscripts, and she was very industrious and she
Wow.
really, really worked at
Oh,
it.
that's great.
Yeah.
When do you what time of day is best for you in writing, or is there any pattern, or how do you go about doing it?
I There isn't any these days because my schedule's all over the place. I have to
Yes.
say it's been really crazy trying to juggle my performing life with my compositional life. They're not sisters, they're not in tandem. I
No.
almost
Yeah.
have to carve out some peace and quiet and
Hmm.
just do this. But I'm always composing. Like, when I walk on the street, when I go to the
Yes.
park, like one of the pieces we're about to play, Verona Waltz, was written in the park.
Oh, I love it.
And everyone, when they hear it, they're like, it feels like a stroll in the park. I'm like, because it was.
I love it. Well, you know what?
It
I'm
was.
loving this conversation so much. I think I'm going to keep this in an interview, but welcome everybody. I'm here tonight with Charu Suri. I'm very excited. She was referred by another friend of mine, and I just am just blown away by her music. She mixes the Indian ragas with contemporary jazz, and she has this whole way of bringing music to a new light. Absolutely love it. And we're going to introduce her now. And welcome. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a complete honor to be here, Andrew, on your show.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
God. I was in high school in the late 60s, and Ravi Shankar was big. And I went to a summer course on Indian culture. Just loved it so much. And of course, the Beatles made him popular too. So there was a whole
Yes.
cross lineage there. So it's not, it actually makes sense that here you have kind of a popular and an Indian discipline together. One of the things I was fascinated with, I was watching one of your interviews, and you talk about the fact that there are over 500 modalities, or
Yeah.
yeah, you know,
Ragas.
yeah, that's amazing. Because I think of I know about the 12 modes that in jazz music, and obviously the major and minor keys, but the fact that you have all these amazing um, modalities or modes is just phenomenal. So how did you get into music in the first place? Were you from a musical family?
So my grandmother was an incredible singer,
Ah,
an Indian style singer.
hmm,
So she could have become the Nightingale of India, but she
ah,
chose to pursue family. So
mm,
I would always hear Indian music in my house every single day. I
wow,
was born into that environment, but
yeah,
not so much Western music and
mm,
Western classical music. So that was the foreign aspect.
hmm,
But my father, who was very into music, got a job in Africa, in
mm,
Nigeria,
hmm,
when he was very young, about 4 years old.
mm,
He became the CEO of a record label. And so when I went there, when we emigrated there for a few years while he worked, I had the amazing fortune to live in a house that had a piano. They gave him a
mm,
house that had a piano. And my mom said I started playing the piano and I never stopped. She said that was like this freak thing that she'd
How
never
old were
seen
you at the
before.
time?
I was 5.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, which is the age of some of my students. So I said, okay, I really want to learn this. And nobody forced me. I was like practicing Handel, Mozart, Bach 10, 12 hours a day. And I graduated like with flying colors. And then at
Wow.
7, I started performing on stage. And
Oh my God. So you were obsessed with the piano,
I was
basically.
obsessed. I was
Yeah.
obsessed with the piano to the point
Mm-hmm.
where, people told me to stop practicing, not
Mm.
start practicing. I was just the
Mm-hmm.
reverse of many kids. I just loved it so much. It was a
Oh.
freedom that I found, and I really loved the sound, the tone, and I wanted to play every piece of repertoire that I could get my hands on. And so by the time I was 9, I was playing the most complicated concerti, scherzi. I mean, it was just really crazy. And, my parents did not know the Western classical music, but they did everything to encourage it. So
Mm.
for summer outings, my father would take me to the European concert halls. We saw operas in Germany, we saw ballets in London, we saw jazz in France. So by the time I was 9, I probably knew every single big piece of music already in my head. And I would
Wow.
take scores to these concert halls and I would study the transcripts in the
Oh my
symphonies.
God. And you won an international piano competition at the age of 15. That's
Yeah,
impressive.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was from very early age, I could transcribe, transpose, read music. It's like a language to me. So it's like second nature.
Yeah.
And I try to do that now for my students.
Now, does that mean that you also have perfect pitch by any chance?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that's a great gift. I wish I had that. I did not even know perfect pitch was a phenomenon until I went to college and had a friend of mine who uh, who claimed he had it. I didn't believe him, and I played like 10 notes, random notes on the piano across the room that he could not see, and he named every one of them. I said, "Oh my God,
Yeah, I
what
did
you?"
that in music school at
Yeah.
Princeton, where I went to school from
Mm,
India, and the teacher's like, "That's so crazy." But I mean, I sort of like I assumed everybody had it.
right.
When you're so young and you're so in this world, you just assume everybody can read music. You just assume everybody knows this, and you
Yeah.
can sight read music, and then you start to realize, okay, so that's maybe not everybody can do that.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
is it so is it obvious then to you that even at an early age you were going to dedicate your life to music, or was there some seminal moment where something happened? You said, I got to be a musician, got to be a composer."
I can't think of a single day when that wasn't the case. Since I
Mm,
was 5, I've always been obsessed with either being a musician or playing music. It didn't matter in what capacity,
yeah.
whether it was a professional, piece of work, whether it was a concert or
Hmm.
something that I was reading, but that was sort of in me. And every time I was like one of those people who had created my own world, which obviously in music I have,
Mm,
but it was the only language that soothed me, comforted me. So I have a very sensitive personality, like a lot of artists, and
hmm.
the brutal realities of the world. I just found music was the perfect vehicle to escape from all of that.
Yes, music really helps me keep my sanity.
Like everything, I would just like duck under the covers and listen to some Tchaikovsky, and my day was much better.
Oh my God. In fact, I have that same good friend. Mahler saved his life because he was actually very depressed as a kid. And he went to a Mahler concert and he felt that Mahler understood him and somehow that
Yes,
completely helped him deal with it. I personally
yes.
don't like Mahler. So,
Oh
but
yeah,
then,
okay.
and Debussy, for example, hated Mahler, which is kind of interesting. But to each his own. And obviously, it moved this guy so well. I mean, it really helped him with his state of being. I think music is a very important factor in people's lives more than they may realize. So,
It's so true, and it
yeah.
definitely saved me. I was a very advanced kid. I've read all the great pieces of literature by the time I was 12, and
Wow.
I was sort of like one of those people who would go to parties and I'm like, oh, please don't tell me you're talking about shoes and what you bought at the mall. I don't want to
Yes.
hear it.
Or who won the ball game? Who was the best pitcher?
I'm
All that
like,
kind of
I
stuff.
don't
Yeah.
care. I'm reading
Yeah.
Tolstoy.
Yeah. Right. I love that. What are some of your favorite composers as you think
Um,
back?
I love Debussy.
Mm.
Debussy influenced me to the point where, my piano teacher in Chennai, she said, "You have to stop playing Debussy. There are other composers out there." Like, I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but why would you?"
Yeah. Yeah.
I just love his risk taking. So, I identified with him because he was a risk taker. I mean,
Mm.
he didn't stay true to the mold, and he really explored the sonic palette, and he
Yeah.
really broadened the scope of music. So he spoke to me in a huge way.
Mm.
I actually really and truly love Beethoven. I know sometimes Beethoven gets a bad rap. His piano sonatas are incredible.
Yeah.
As a pianist, I find him so bombastic and explosive, which
Mm.
sometimes I am. But a lot of Beethoven creeps into my work in some sort of way because of the passion.
Mm.
Is the ultimate passionate advocate of the piano. I love Bach for the discipline of the counterpoint lines, and I love Mozart for the playfulness. Both
Mm.
both Mozart and Haydn. I love how they didn't take their music so seriously. And I adore Stravinsky for the orchestration again,
Mm. Mm.
and Ravel as well. Those are all classical composers I've named, but there
Mm.
are some jazz ones too.
Yeah. And how about, I'm not familiar with Indian music enough to know, are there modern composers that still do kind of raga kinds of things in India? Is that, I'm not up to date on
Not
what's
to
going
the
on there.
level I'm doing,
Yeah.
but there are many, many composers. Not to the
Mm.
style I'm doing, I would say.
Yes.
Not the level, yes, not to the style I'm doing.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, my style's a little different because I do the jazz trio, but there are some amazingly talented Indian composers, many of whom I met through the Grammys, who are
Mm.
doing very impressive things with raga
Mm.
music,
Yeah.
and have albums all inspired by ragas, and they
Mm.
sing, and the style of the genre is different, but absolutely it's becoming more, I think, recognized in
Hmm.
mainstream music. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, what I love about your website is there's a wonderful array of music that can be sampled. What should we play first, do you think?
Well, we can start off with the non-raga work. My first album, I guess, Lollipops for Breakfast.
Oh, is
That
that your
was
first?
my
I love
very
that piece.
Yeah, that was my first album, and it was inspired by my daughter. It inspires people not to take life or themselves too seriously, and she just woke up one day saying, "I want lollipops for breakfast," and I'm like, "Hey, that's a tune."
And is this a picture of her, by the way? I wasn't sure if this was
Yes,
you as a young girl or her. Okay, this
yes.
is great. So let's do this. This is lollipops for breakfast. Absolutely love it. Yeah. So did she get lollipops for breakfast?
I eventually realized that I had no choice. I wrote a tune inspired by a request, so I had to give it to her.
That's funny. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So now you have a trio, and in
Yes.
fact, you have a separate YouTube page dedicated to the trio,
Yes.
which is great. So that's let's see, where is that here? I do have it set up here
And
somewhere.
we're gonna add many more videos. I'm really prioritizing my video content in the next year because so many of my fans have found me through YouTube.
Oh,
So
excellent.
that is definitely a priority for me.
Yeah. The only problem I'm having with YouTube, of course, is that as we get into well, here it is right here. As we get into some of these YouTube videos, ads may pop up, so we may have to cut those out
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
archive. But we'll just cut out, before we promote this, before we air this on Thursday. So yes, I know. What would you like to play next? We got Raga number one, Verona Waltz,
Yeah. I
Estavari.
think Raga number one would be a good exposure to the audience about how I started using ragas in jazz.
Yeah.
A lot of people have asked me, how do you do that? And I'm like, well, you have to think of a raga as a scale. And sometimes, it's not perfect. You're gonna have blue notes because it's jazz. You're gonna have departures from the raga because it's jazz. So I never claim to have it's not pure and 100% the raga all the time. As much
Hmm.
as possible, I try to stick with it. But it's definitely influenced and inspired by it to the point where I've had a lot of Indian classical scholars and musicians come to my shows and they're like, we 100% heard the raga in that song. And that's made me so happy because, you know, it's important for them to feel that way. Otherwise, what's the point of calling it raga jazz?
Yeah. Excellent.
So
Well,
raga
let's.
number one is an afternoon evening inspired raga based on Kirwani, which is the closest to a harmonic minor scale afternoon raga Bimpalas as well.
I was going to ask what that meant. So that's the afternoon raga. Is that a specific
Yeah.
raga that you're okay?
Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah, that's one of the two ragas that are influenced that particular work. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
निसैयो वसान ना दे आके लगे निसैयो वसान ना दे आके लगे सजन बिन रातां
There's something so wonderful about his voice, and I miss that. You know, we don't get that in the Western culture, but the way he
No,
moves through, I literally got goosebumps at the crescendo of that. It just, oh, it's
it's
amazing.
a Sufi singer. There's not a lot of Sufi music in jazz, and
Hmm.
it's not very common. And I wanted to introduce that. And he's performed with me many times at Carnegie Hall,
Oh, wonderful.
and his overlays. He's using the Indian solfege, basically,
Mm,
and he improvises over the raga.
mm,
And it's like a, you can't say scatting because scatting is its own thing,
yeah.
but it's basically an extended instrument that is improvising with the trio,
So kind of Indian
using
scatting, so maybe.
using the ragas. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's just beautiful, and his tonality is really good. I mean, he's just the way he moves in and out of it, he gets right on the notes. I mean, it's
He's a really well trained, amazingly gifted Sufi singer in high
well,
demand because there's not a lot of those in
yeah.
floating
Well,
around.
and how do you write to that, or do you just say, follow this kind of set of work around these notes, and he'll just do it from there, or does he do it kind of ad lib on top of the chord structure that you have set in
Well, we
place?
rehearse, so
Yeah.
I give him the lead sheets. We rehearse, so he's
Mm,
able to improvise over it. But we've rehearsed many times so that he doesn't go off pitch.
yeah.
And when he improvises, he tries to stick in with the frame,
Mm,
and he emphasizes the lead notes, of the raga, and stays within that range. I mean, it's there's a lot of different factors to it.
yeah.
Um, but the fact that, nobody is expecting when you're playing a jazz trio, a Sufi singer to come and improvise over it. And I'm just like, it's that added element of surprise that
Oh
I
my
want.
God, it's just a great another oral effect that's amazing. The chat, there's an automatic chat feature in YouTube that was trying to tell us what he was saying, but it was trying to do it in English. So what was he saying? Well, there was some clear messaging there too. True.
It's the soul needs to be with the lover. The thing is, with a lot of ancient Sufi poetry,
Hmm.
it's about the soul longing for the union of the true love.
Ah, okay.
It's very poetic, it's very passionate, but it's also very philosophical,
Hmm.
sort of like Rumi. I don't know if you've read any of Rumi's poetry.
Mm-mm.
I
I've heard
read
about it.
Rumi a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh,
Yeah,
wonderful.
and
Yeah.
it's always about how the soul and the body are two separate things.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Sufi journey, it's all about finding the soul, like the
Hmm.
soulmate, and being united with the love, because they believe that the human existence is very different from the soul's existence.
Love that.
And
It's
it's
obviously worth
so
having that.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's
It'd be
all
great.
about the soul being united and finding perfect love. It doesn't matter what the body is going through. I mean, it's just your existence, but
Yeah.
the way that you have to take care of your soul. So it's all about you search for the true love and being, you know.
That is wonderful. A whole nother layer. I
Mhm.
didn't even know it was there. That's beautiful. That's
Yeah.
really great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that.
You're
All right.
welcome.
What would you like to play next?
I think that, I'd love to go to Verona Waltz because
Hmm.
I started my jazz journey after going to New Orleans and falling in love with the Preservation Hall Jazz Band, and now I'm very honored to play with a lot of them there. Uh, and so my first album that I wrote with the drummer from Preservation Hall was Ragas and Waltzes,
Mm.
dedicated to my dad, who died a few years ago.
I'm sorry.
And we filmed it. Yes, it was such a huge loss. And
Mm.
I ended up writing almost all of the album, including Waltz to My Father, the day after he died, and during that 1 month after he died.
Mm.
And so Verona Waltz, which we recorded in Preservation Hall, was composed on a walk in Verona Park.
Oh, wow.
And my dad used to love walking in the park, so I walked in the park, and I came back and I wrote this waltz. But yeah, that would be a good one to showcase the influence of New Orleans and that Preservation Hall on my work.
Excellent.
And Joe Lasty from Preservation Hall is on that video too.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, I remember many years ago, this is another lifetime, I was working at IBM and I took a client out to dinner down there. And they have something called the hurricane lamp, which is this big giant, it's like a hurricane lamp filled with alcohol. Oh my God, really
Yeah.
amazing. We had a lot of fun that night. Anyway,
Oh, it's a fantastic city.
yeah, it
And
really
then
is.
and then there's the actual hurricane, and then you just wander through the streets and you see Mardi Gras beads hanging everywhere on
Mm.
the trees everywhere.
Hmm.
It's
Now, this
just
next one,
pretty
Raga
fresh.
Asavari, you want to talk a little bit about the background on that one?
So Asavari was composed during the pandemic. It's a morning raga, and so I brought out the Book of Ragas Volume 2 all during the pandemic because I would wake up early in the morning, which is against my nature. I'm a night owl. So
Hmm.
that's why my first Book of Ragas was all evening ragas.
Ah.
I would wake up in the morning and then see and read the devastation caused by the COVID.
Mm.
And it really haunted me so much that I woke up extra early just to catch the sun's rays and listen to a lot of morning ragas to just get calmer about
Mm.
the situation the world was going through.
Hmm.
And so the result is the Book of Ragas Volume 2, and Asavari is a very, very um, powerful, mournful, and you can hear that in the music, all written during the pandemic. So you can hear that pathos
Mm.
in that morning raga that
Okay.
comes.
I don't think we'll have time to listen to the whole thing, but
Yeah.
encourage people to go back to your web pages and listen to these. They're just gorgeous. I mean, I'm in a trance right now. I'm not even
Oh my
sure.
God, thank you.
Am I
And
saying words? Are words coming out of my
Andrew,
head?
when when we do our shows in theaters, we have the raga based lighting that goes on and beautiful graphics rolling in the background
Oh my God.
that's anchored to a certain time of day. And those are
Mm,
really, really lovely. I mean, I
mm.
would show you some now if I had the chance. You can also, I'm gonna upload the one of those onto the YouTube page so people can just see it.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, and those are all Indian motifs, etc.
Mm,
Because raga, the word raga means color
mm.
or
Oh,
dye.
I did not know that. Okay. Or
Yeah,
die?
or
I,
dye.
as
Yeah,
in dyeing clothes.
yeah,
Yeah.
dye,
DYE. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
dye,
Yeah.
color or dye.
Mm,
Um, and so the shades of each raga are really, really complex. There can be like, if you visually think about it, like almost an ombre,
mm,
um, which is why I like gravitate to Debussy so much because I think of his music as an ombre, as think of an impressionist effect.
mm-hmm.
And I think of a lot of music that I create is like that because a morning, no two mornings are alike. So there's happy morning ragas I've written, and then there's mournful ones like the ones that you've heard.
Mm,
And I think what I love so much about them is how they really mimic human life,
mm,
that there are some happy evening ragas and sad ones and passionate ones and pathetic ones. And so they're really reflecting the colors of the human emotions too.
mm. That's wonderful. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
So
nice.
could you hear that pathos of the pandemic in that one? It was just
Definitely. Yeah.
there's a lot of weight. There's a lot of
Yeah.
gravitas there.
And I got hit pretty hard by COVID myself. I was in bed for 9 weeks the first time around. So it was
Oh my God.
yeah, and I got it again just last Thanksgiving for 20 days. So I have to be so careful. When I go in public, I do wear a mask because even though I have all my shots, it's not enough,
I
whatever.
really think that we have to be even more careful. Like now, I've heard so many people getting COVID again right
Mm,
now, just
mm,
like a few weeks ago.
yeah,
So
yeah.
crazy.
Excellent. Well, excellent that you did this wonderful job. Just really, really nice. Um, so let's see. We have some others here as well. What would you like to highlight next, do you think? Let's see.
Well, I think my crowning glory is the rags and ragas.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to play if you have the video open on
Well, by the way,
Jackson.
can I say this? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm going to show this now. This is it's the wrong page. I love what you did for your consideration for the record.
Yeah.
Is this what you're talking about? This is
Yes. This
absolutely,
is for last year. It was submitted to the Grammys last year. Yeah, we took such a huge I have an album not of my own for the running this year, but
mm,
this was submitted last year in alternative jazz. And yeah, every year I for the Grammys I prepare a page
yeah.
for my fellow voting members that talks about the tracks, the backstory, and the
Mm,
design of the album. Every single album cover is done by a longtime friend of mine from India that reflects that beautiful blend of East and West.
I love that. I especially love obviously New Orleans, there, and then you've got these wonderful windows into everyone, and then you have your samples. Your music is down here, right? I see we listen to the
Yes,
music here.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So
yes.
which of these should we listen to next?
So I would say if you can put in the Bhairavi Blues, I'm very honored to have the great Steve Gadd, or Bourbon Street Stroll. Actually, Bourbon Street Stroll would be a nice one to listen to.
Okay.
It features the incredible Steve Gadd. I was so honored to have both Steve Gadd and John Patitucci on this one. This is an
Mm.
evening raga in a folk rhythm, 7/8. Very, very intuitive for me. But the
Mm.
reason, yeah, not so much intuitive for someone from New Orleans, from Preservation Hall, as I found out. Joe is, I think, the greatest drummer I've heard, but he's so in the marching band style of
Yes.
4/4 that the
Yeah.
7/8 initially threw him off, and now he's like a pro at it.
Yeah.
He went and fixed that up. But
Wow.
for this, yeah, he's
That's a
amazing.
big change, I would think. And I have to
It's a big
confess too,
change.
I know you and I talked about this before this interview, but I'm also fascinated by some indie music has a different set of beats in each measure. So you have like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 1, 2, 3, 1, you know.
I
And
haven't composed anything that complex yet. That's
yeah,
definitely probably will come. But I have, 7/8, the Bourbon Street, and Steve Gadd just gave that incredible groove throughout. So I think we should listen to that. The
excellent.
first track of Rags and Ragas,
Okay, so this one, Bourbon Street Road.
which is probably stylistically my best album showcasing a style of raga jazz.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I love that little ending too. It's almost a little bit of sitar there or something at the end. That was really very
The
nice.
oud. It's a oud. It's a Middle Eastern
Oh,
instrument
yes.
played by a wonderful musician called Charlie Sabak, who
Mm-hmm.
wanted to really collaborate with me on the album. And that ending, that is it's an actual it's a very classical technique.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say
Yeah.
is the ending, which is
Mm.
the three phrases repeated.
Mm-hmm.
It in Indian music, it's called a T-high.
Ah.
And it's so amazing that the T-high, which is essentially three, that's what it means, three times the phrase, is such a classic ending in Indian music, but it also is equivalent to a jazz tag. When you have a tag at the end of, of a song, like if you go to Girl from Ipanema, you'll have she doesn't see,
Yes.
she
Yes. Yes.
doesn't see, and then
Exactly.
you have, and there's so many amazing parallels with that
Yeah.
world. And I often explain to my musicians, yes, you just have to think of it as a tag, but it's very common in Indian music to end it that way.
Wow.
Yeah,
So,
there's so
by the
many
way,
amazing parallels.
I have a notebook of the day, and it's a phrase every day. Today's it says, "It's your place in the world. It's your life. Go on and do all you can work with it, and make it the life you want to live," which is what you're doing.
That's
And
just a beautiful thing. That's what I try to do every day, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. We probably have time for a little bit of something else. Should we do Bhairavi Blues, or is there anything else on
Yeah,
that?
Bhairavi blues is a great example of how how a blues scale can actually marry with an Indian raga. Bhairavi is one of the most beautiful. It's one of my favorite morning ragas. It's
Mm.
equivalent to the Phrygian scale.
Oh, excellent.
And I wanted to find out what happened when Indian raga meets the blues, which is a cornerstone of jazz. So on that track, I have two amazing drumming legends on it. Joe Lasty is playing that gospel beat, and Steve Gadd is doing the brushwork,
Wonderful.
and John Patitucci's on the bass.
All right. bass player. I'm going to cut him short. So, Charu, I just
Not just a bass player, the bass player.
the best
John,
player.
it's John Patitucci.
Oh my God. I
I'll
want to
let
thank
him
you.
know. No, I'm kidding.
I want to thank you so much. In fact, I'm looking at your schedule. Oh my God. First of all, you just came back from Europe. So thank you for doing that. I'm looking at your schedule this month. You are someplace every day, almost every day. You're playing someplace. You're in New Jersey. You're in Washington, D.C., I believe, at some point. Oh my God.
Yeah,
New
end of this
Rochelle.
month. So yeah, I'd love to invite everybody. Not October 29th. I'm playing at Blues Alley in Washington, D.C. And
Mm,
then October 30th, I'm playing at Shanghai Jazz in Madison, New Jersey.
mm,
Before that, I have some residencies in Miami, October 12th and 13th. And I
mm.
have some free Jazz Vespers series that I started in Verona, October 18th.
Wow.
And I'm also playing for Diwali at Montclair Art Museum on Sunday, October 19th, and New Rochelle on the 25th.
Mm,
So yeah, there's a lot of shows, and we're in Sedona at Mary
mm,
Fisher Theater on November
mm,
7th,
mm-hmm.
and we're in Dazzle, Denver, November 9th. So
Wow.
definitely all the tickets and everything are available on my Spotify, Bands and Towns, on this page, on my social channels.
Mm,
You can also search for them. But yeah, my tour schedule is always posted and refreshed here
yeah.
on this website and everywhere. And I really hope to see everybody. And I also hope you will, thank you, first of all, Andrew, for taking the time to showcase the world about this music. I'm very
Oh my God.
grateful. But I'm kind of on a mission to encourage people to really slow down and savor the beauty of life. The moments are precious moments because they're all too gone. They're just fleeting. They're gone. And in the end, the beautiful memories are all we have. The moments are all we have. And it just, no two moments are alike. They're just so beautiful and so precious. And so I wanted to do my raga jazz to show people how, if so much can unfold in your life, we just take the time to appreciate and savor all of those beautiful times of day and create art from it.
And it does take work to do that. It takes
It's a lot
focus
of
to make
work.
sure you actually have to carve out some time to enjoy and appreciate every day and appreciate every moment. So thank you for that. Thank you for giving us a vehicle to do it. I look forward to seeing you live someplace. We'll have to figure out where eventually, but I'll keep a lookout for when you might be near me, or maybe I'll be there. I'm going to be in Italy in 2 weeks. You were just there. Unfortunately, we're crossing paths. But
Oh, have the best time.
oh
Drinking
my God.
Aperol spritz for all of us.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for being flexible. I know I was originally you were going to have this interview live on Thursday night, but I'm teaching an adult education course on classical music at Salve Regina on Friday morning, and I
Okay.
just decided I have to go down Thursday night to and so thank you for scheduling it today, just a few days after your or maybe a day after your trip back from
A
Europe.
day
You,
after my trip, it was
you
just
must be
worth
still
every minute.
suffering from some jet lag there, so I can't thank you enough
I
for
have
that.
my coffee.
There you
All
go.
good.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. You have a great evening, and thank you
Thank you,
everyone for joining.
Andrew.
And I
It's an
look
honor
forward.
to be on your show. Thank
Oh
you
my God,
again.
it's all the pleasure's all mine. Have a great night.
Thank you. Take care. Good night.